Well, hello, everyone. It is episode 129. We've got the guys from Bury the Darkness going to be joining us here in just a few minutes. We've got the Grudge Match coming up. I am Kevin Harris.
I'm Lisa Wills.
I'm Matt James.
And I'm Jared Seymour, and we didn't fuck that up.
Bravo.
It only took 200 episodes, 120
That's
episodes
it, right?
to get that right.
So we were talking, and before we went on the air, and we were talking about social media presence and things like that. And we wanted to open up the show and discuss a little bit about bands and their social media presence. So out of the three of you, because I'm not starting it, out of the three of you, who wants to begin this conversation?
I'll go, baby. Let's go. So we got Riff Media here and son of a bitch. That's way harder. Here and here. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Here and here. And they specialize, right? Lisa, Matt, y'all specialize in the social media side of things for bands. But like Kevin mentioned, we were talking, the sound's all encompassing, right? We want to promote the music that we love and help bands do better, get to that next level quicker. We look around sometimes on the Facebook pages and the websites of the bands, and sometimes there's like obvious information that is just absolutely lacking. And I know we're probably guilty of it ourselves here at the Sound. We forget to update things from time to time. We don't change things as quickly as we should, but basic information, I hope we've got right on the website. So what I'm getting at is, bands, if you're out there, if you're listening, put simple things on there like who the members of the band are. What do they do in the band? What is Jimmy a bass player? Is he a drummer? Don't make me try to figure it out. What town are you from? That's important, right? I want to be able to. I'm from Mississippi. I want to know if you're from Baltimore or California or whatever. So when I tell people about you, I can give them a little bit of context. I'm sure Lisa and Matt can ad lib to some of that, but these are just like some of the basic things that are not there.
I'm going to ad lib on top of that. So I do the homegrown show for WCPR. It's a regional show. So it's Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, a little bit of Florida, all that. But if I go to a page and I'm like, I can't find where they're from, I'm not going to add them to the homegrown show because I can't guarantee they're in the market that we're talking about. So that's one thing that's aggravating for me. And then I actually made a post one time, said, hey guys, can you please put on your Facebook what city you're in? Everybody's like, well, why? Because I want to fucking know where you're from.
No, because the internet is worldwide, not to mention, like you said, regional. It's statewide. It's in all 50 states. It's in most countries. People may be looking at you that don't live next door to you or down the road. They don't know. They want to know.
Not only that, but I have to say, I mean, doing social media stuff all day long, it's my job, right?
Right.
And doing that, I have to tell you, I mean, even for my own show, if I'm playing a band and I can't find you easily on social media, I am not digging for you like Where's Waldo. You should be consistent across all platforms. You should have a very similar, if not exactly the same name. If there's other bands out there with the same name as you, then you better alternate it consistently across all platforms so people can find you. Also, your profile picture should match across all platforms. So that way, when people see it, they recognize you. It's called branding. Do it. Also, like, I could go on for days. This stuff just grinds. I feel like Peter Griffin. This really grinds my
gears, baby.
You know, if I go to your Spotify, have a bio. I don't care if it's 3 sentences. Say something. Put your socials on there, please. Make it easy for people to find you. If they can't find you, no one will ever listen to your music, follow you, go to your shows, try to become part of that fan group, that fan base that you need to grow. Please, simple things.
You may be hearing this and thinking, damn, why are they so mad at me? This is what you call tough love. This is damn, right. Kevin, that was quick. The grind my gears graphic here. Where'd it go? That was quick.
It is an article. You right here. This is an article in the magazine.
Yes, you're right.
Maybe next month, this is what I will write about.
There you go.
Tough
There you
love,
go.
free
And
information, whatever you want to call it.
Sorry,
yeah,
Matt,
all
did
I'm
you
going to say on
wanna-
top of that is your social media presence, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you know, that new Threads that's come out. That is as important to do as the music that you're putting out there.
Yes, for sure.
It's of equal importance.
So
If you can have all the shows you want, you can have all the fans you want, but if people can't find you, we have a problem.
So let me ask you guys this. Kind of off topic, but kind of the same thing as far as social media presence and all that. So let's say a band has decided to do an EP.
Mhm.
And the EP, they're going to go strictly on CD and sell the CD.
Okay.
What's your opinion on that?
At least,
No, I'm sorry.
they're not going to put it on a streaming platform?
I'm sorry. They're going to put it on iTunes to sell, but they're not going to put it on a streaming platform because they want to be able to sell it. Mainly the CDs at shows and things like that, which people buy CDs at shows all the time. Given. That's my question.
It sounds like an absolutely moronic plan.
I think that's a very that's to your disadvantage. That's to your own detriment. I think when you don't put your music on social, like on the streaming platforms, you're not allowing anyone else in the world to listen to it unless they have a physical copy. People will go and buy your merch and your CDs and things.
But
Maybe
will-
your
but
CDs
won't they-
$5 at a show.
But won't they go to iTunes?
Not
It's digitally there to buy.
Well, you said
to
buy.
buy.
I'm assuming
Right.
you meant you can't listen to it for free. You can only buy it,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's to your
Right.
detriment.
That's ridiculous. That would be
That's
like
very poor
going on
decision.
tour and booking a 3-state tour and arriving by horse and carriage.
But so I guess what my question is they're trying the spins on Spotify and shit like that will never add up
Doesn't
to
matter.
a person buying that
small
song
time.
once.
That's small time thinking. The difference is, and the reason we live in a free economy now, everything that we do is free. Now, granted, we all know why it's really not free. Google sells all your information to advertisers, but you don't pay anything up front. There's no paywall to keep somebody from experiencing your music when you put it on streaming. If you're looking at Spotify per play, per stream payouts, you don't need to be in their industry anyway because you've already lost. You need the exposure first. You look at a guy like Oliver Anthony on TikTok, right? That country guy who just
Well, that didn't take long for him, did it?
Yeah, well,
I mean, he worked at it.
kinda, but my point is that he's not going to make his money off of the views and the downloads, even at the level he's about to hit. Taylor Swift's put out articles like what she's at the stratosphere of downloads, and relative to what she makes, it's not that much money.
No.
You want the exposure, you want the attention and the eyeballs and the ears, and then monetize that through ticket sales. That's why concert tickets are $150 a piece nowadays, because nobody makes money off physical sales or downloads, right? That's why bands like Slipknot have whiskeys. You know, you have to diversify how you make money, but you need the eyeballs first.
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, and no one's going to be, if my choice is to either listen to a band I've never heard of for free or buy a CD from a band I've never heard of to hear them, I'm not buying the CD. And that's just so to your detriment, because not only I'm not going to, not that I'm anybody, but like, I'm not going to hear it. No one else is going to hear it because they can spend $5 on a gallon of gas.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like that one person that's might be watching, or, you know, well, what about if I'm at the show and I love them and I hear it and then I want to buy it? Great. You know,
Yeah.
good.
Go to the
Buy
merch
it.
table.
But don't not be on the greatest transformation of information tool that we know of in human existence, aka the internet, because you have some kind of, you know, short-sighted $5 CD sales. It's just it's small-minded.
Yeah, it's a very poor
And-
short-term plan.
Looking at it on the other standpoint is I've always said all the way along since streaming services came around, if you're doing an EP or an album, you have to have physical copies of it. You have to, because you need to reimburse that money that you spent making that record.
You mean you have to make
But
them for sale? Is what you're saying?
you have to. You have to
To
have
me-
physical copies of EPs and albums.
To me, it's almost like a tier. So your biggest, widest base is the entire world and the entire internet for free.
Exactly.
Once whoever you capture in that net, then the next level could be a t-shirt sale, or if you're local, a concert ticket. Then you tier up, and that's when you see bands selling $100. I think Tool did like $100 and something vinyl with a crystal skull.
That was
signed
that was
stuff.
that was my next thing. Was, I hate to say it, but it's vinyl again.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's buying physical copies of something,
Yep.
they're not buying CD. I don't have a CD player in my truck.
Me neither.
Think
I
that
don't have a
through.
CD player in the house.
Me
Why
neither.
is that though? Why do you think that is? I have an opinion on it. I think it's because CDs used to be, well, they are smaller than vinyl. They're easier to transport, right? They hold more information. They were easier to fast forward, reverse, skip songs, whatever, right? So they beat vinyl. Well, now that you can stream and have literally the entire human collection of music on your phone, CD's advantage is gone. So now I don't need the CD, but if I'm a super fan, which is the people that are buying vinyl,
Right.
those are the super fans of that band, right? They're the collectors. They're buying it like a baseball card.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
That's right.
And it has better. I have a couple in my music room. It has a better audio.
The only
quality.
way I buy them is if they're signed to go in my
Yep.
collection.
Right. And why do you have that, Matt? Exactly.
Wow.
It's but it's because it's a
signed, it goes in
physical,
my collection.
right? And you're a junkie. You know,
Oh,
we
right.
all are.
We all are.
It's
Look
legit.
at that. Look at the Kiss album.
That's fucking cool right
Love it.
there. Is that Kevin? Is that a reissue, or is that
No, that's an original.
yeah. See,
Okay.
that's cool.
So we're going to start announcing our birth years.
right. Purple Rain, yeah.
I'll stay out of this
Oh.
conversation.
But what I'm saying, Kevin, is how many times do you listen to that record? Any of those you're holding up?
You're still sealed.
Yeah.
Well, this Kiss one didn't look like
Exactly.
The
it.
Kiss one wasn't. The Kiss one wasn't.
It's about status isn't the right word, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like collecting Pokemon cards or baseball
Yeah,
cards.
no,
It's
I
just
agree.
to show your level of commitment.
Commitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
To a
Oh,
band.
And that's what
I'm getting ready
That's
to
what-
show you that, because that's framed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's
Okay.
what NFTs will do, is they were going to be the digital form of that, right? That even though you can download a copy of the album, like Matt said, he only likes it if it's signed. The NFT was supposed to have provenance, which is a fancy word for saying you can track it back to the beginning, and you can say that I knew of Kiss on issue 1 in 19 whatever year before any of you other fuckers did, and you can hold it up, you know, and be like, nah, to everybody else, right? And to music
Right.
snobs, that's cool.
All right.
All right, off our high
Yeah,
horses.
we
Yep.
will sit here all night and talk about this. We need to move on.
Yeah, we
Because it turned into, hey, we're gonna start 5 minutes of the show. Yeah. Here we
we
are,
are.
15 minutes
15
into the
minutes,
show.
yeah.
We need to start the grudge match, guys.
We do.
Everybody hit
So-
that share button.
So the grudge match, our returning champion is Coldwards, and their song Bad News. They are going up against Of Virtue and Sober. You know how it works. After the second song, you'll see a poll pop up if you're on Facebook. Vote video number 1 or video number 2. If you're not on Facebook, but you're on YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, put in the comments video number 1 or video number 2, and the winner will move on to the next episode. So we are going to get that started right now.
I had it all, cause I had you. I fucked it up, I wish I knew that this is hell that I put you through. I told you that I tried, but that wasn't true. I'm filthy, but coming clean. Made myself sick, yeah, it's a disease. No, I don't want Drink to numb the pain till I'm sober. Sleep until this bad dream is over. Don't call me a disgrace, not proud of my mistakes. Show me there's a way that life's not over. If I wake up sober, I'm sorry for not pulling through. Didn't realize what I had with you. Was it love I was searching for? Hurt like hell to watch you walk out the door. I'm filthy, becoming clean. Make myself sick, yeah, it's a disease. No, I don't want no sympathy. Drink to numb the pain till I'm sober. Sleep until this bad dream is over. Don't call me a disgrace, not proud of my mistakes. Show me there's a way that life's not over. If I wake up sober, safe to say I'm not okay. Your heart's in a different place. Didn't wanna turn the page. Things are better off this way. Drink to numb the pain until I'm sober. Sleep until this bad dream is over. Don't call me a disgrace, not proud of my mistakes. Show me there's a way that life's not over. If I wake up sober, if I wake up sober. If I wake up sober, now I'm just a memory.
All right, that was video number 1 and of Virtue, and that is Sober. So we did it last time we had somebody on. So I'm going to go ahead and tease it because our magazine comes out Friday,
Yep.
Yeah.
the September issue.
Yep.
And the last time we featured a band on the show, they were on the cover of the magazine.
Yep.
Here's the cover of the September issue of the magazine, as Of Virtue will take the cover. And you just saw their song Sober. We'll have a little write-up on them in there. So yeah. So anyways, that's the cover of the magazine that will be out Friday. And of course, it will go out to, let me tell Jared, tell me if I'm wrong here. It will go out to the website and the text community first. Text community first, website second.
Text and app.
Text and
If we
app
can-
first.
I don't know. Yeah, because we can link it in a tile on the app, right?
Right.
What guys? What we're doing? It's no big secret here. We're going to release it to the people that we don't have to fight an algorithm with first. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
The more direct line of communication we can have with you, those people are going to get it first. It's like the tiers we talked about earlier. If you're a music junkie and you love what we're doing, and you're that deep into our I can't think of the word. If you're that deep into what we're doing, it'll hit me later. That's who we're going to talk to first. So the text community will get a link. We'll send it through the app. If you've got our app, it'll be a tile in the app. You hit that, you go to it. And then what Kevin, I don't remember what we did last time. It was a few hours. We put it out on the website and everybody else gets it. But we want to, we want to reward.
Post it up on the website, and
yeah.
And thanks to the ones that did subscribe to the physical copy. So subscriptions are available. You can go to our website at thesound228.com and go into the shop, and you can actually buy issue number 1, which has Kingdom Collapse on the cover, and you can subscribe to it to get a copy of the first issue. And then, of course, with the subscription, every month you pay automatically, you will automatically be sent the physical copy of the current month issue. It's just like the other fucking magazine.
Right. Or if you don't, you have to wait until I get up at 5:30 in the morning on Friday and I post it to our socials.
That's right. That's right. And our shtick for the magazine is we're hopefully we're like the closest ear to the street. right? Like, I think we're doing a good job of getting bands before they hit bigger platforms, bigger shows, bigger festivals, bigger arenas. Check out our magazine and catch them first.
All right, we need to
Correct.
continue with the grudge match.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Video number 2. It is your returning champion. Here is Coldwards. It's called Bad News. Check it out. The poll will pop up if you're on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, put it in the comments of video number 1 or video number 2. Here is Coldwards, and you are watching the sound.
Rest not the one who carries others' burdens. It's too sad to see you keeping hostile souls and higher spirits. Irony would have it so. You said I didn't know, but you're still. Don't tell me you're in the same place you were when I let go. Say goodbye like a normal person. Figures that I'd have to say it for you. Pictured us grinding to put that work in. Now you survive on a craving for bruises, waiting to prove these people don't feel you like a hug. Tell me, are you still? Don't tell me you're in the same place you were when I let go.
All right, that is your returning champion and Coldwards. The song is called Bad News, and the poll is up now on Facebook. And if you're not on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, please put in the comments video number 1 or video number 2, and we will count those votes as well. You guys ready?
We're ready.
Let's do it.
All right, let's bring in our guest. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you so much for having us on.
Doing awesome. Thank you so much.
No,
Hey,
thank you. Thank you for being here. So,
It's been a long time coming.
For real.
Yeah.
I remember we've talked on with Matt and then Lisa on Twitter since like 2021. So maybe even 2020. So it's super cool to finally be able to talk as face to face as we can get for the moment, you know?
Right.
nice. I like it. So, for those that are watching and don't know, fill us in on how Bury the Darkness became.
Yeah, so I'm Mark. This is Frankie. I play guitar. Frankie is our vocalist. He used to be our producer. So BTD started back in 2019 with myself, our bassist Brandon, our old singer Jared, and our old drummer John, friends from high school, and all shared the same love of music. I met our drummer back in orchestra and our old singer back in music theory, and all of us kind of went our separate ways after high school, and then all kind of reconnected and stuff like that a couple of years afterwards, and just started jamming in a basement. And within a month we wrote 4 songs and went into the studio to start recording our debut EP, which actually never saw the light. But we met Frankie in that studio. He was a producer in a different room, and we kind of just hit it off, and we started working on Break Me with Frankie, and that ended up becoming our debut single. And we've just been working with Frankie ever since, until he unfortunately lost his studio in 2021. And then we ended up bringing him as our vocalist after Suffocate came out. So this whole album that just came out is all Frankie on vocals, and our new lineup with Devin Bowers on drums and Brennan Davis on rhythm guitar, and then Frankie Galoni on vocals.
So, Frankie, tell me, going from the producer side of things to the vocal side of things, and still having to put that input in, how was that change for you?
It was kind of crazy for me because I didn't have, they kind of hit me what a curveball when they asked me to join the band. You know, I wasn't formally a singer or vocalist. I was a guitar player, and so just them asking me to come join was kind of, you know, crazy for me. And so getting to do that, I think, you know, I kind of, they wanted me to try out. And so I was like, all right, you know, I'll try out. They told me, hey, we really think you could do it. We believe in you. And, you know, maybe at the time I was kind of like, there's no way I could do it, man. No way, you know? And these guys kind of pushed me into it, and I'm glad they did, you know? And I ended up being able to, I think, do a lot of this, like, kind of, I had probably an easier easing into it because I've been able to work with some great vocalists over the years, just in recording and stuff. So I've been able to kind of be around them and really see what they've done in the past to get what they were looking for out of themselves. And, you know, kind of hearing what they've, hearing the things that I've been able to, like, I guess, hear that are unique, I guess, kind of really helped me, like, understand what I should be doing vocally and what it should feel and sound like when I'm doing it. So when we ended up hitting the studio, these guys were just super supportive of me, and we were able to kind of put all our brains together and really write these songs lyrically with you know, everyone in mind, not just, like, you know, just one person. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and it was nice for me to be able to kind of scratch the itch of being a producer while also being able to kind of, you know, sing in the band and not just be in the background. It was really cool.
Frankie used to show me, he would write songs in the studio and he didn't have anyone to do vocals on them. So he would just lay down vocal demos. And I was like, sounds pretty good, man. And he was just like, you know, I'm never going to show this to anybody. So when we were kind of having creative differences with our old singer and we made the decision to kind of move forward without him, Frankie popped back in my mind. I was like, you know, it's going to take some persuading to do, but this guy believed in me when I was, you know, deer in the headlights, fresh into this industry, played in bands, but never really took the recording side of our music seriously. And he took me under his wing. So I was like, you know what? I want to return this favor, and I know he can do it. And, you know, he stepped up to the plate. Yeah, I love this guy. And, you know, we're super excited to be doing this together in the band. So
nice.
That was going to be my question, was what was the catalyst? I didn't know. You're saying you had heard him demo some of his own material. I didn't know if it was that classic producer thing where he's sitting back and telling the singer, like, no, do it more like this. And then he demoed it out.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on the side, you're going, well, damn, why don't he just fucking do it? You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. Yeah.
It's nice being able to actually get up and do it, though. You know, like, I think way different about songwriting now. As a vocalist, it's crazy. You know, I never thought about it from the standpoint of the singer. It was always like, you get the instruments there and then you write to that. So it was really interesting to be able to develop songs that way.
Well, unpack that a little bit more, because you were the producer, right? So you're used to guys coming in with, I would say, 90 to 100% of the song already done. You tweak it a little bit, but now that you're saying you're the vocalist, what do you mean? What's the difference there? I'm
like
following.
we were kind of like able to, instead of it being like, okay, we've got the bulk of the song written, let's record that and then we'll write the vocals to that. Because a lot of the times, a lot of artists come into the studio, they really don't have their ideas down 100%. And as a producer, it's kind of my job to help them flesh out their ideas to the best of their abilities at that time. And a lot of that means I'm sitting with a vocalist, going over melodies for hours on end, trying to, see what's going to work well with the song, what's going to end up, getting everyone what they want out of it, while also, serving the song the best it can.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like I was a guitarist in a band before this. So I had worked with a producer who kind of helped teach me what I know, a couple producers actually. And so what we did with this record was we went in and basically the guy I took, because I'm new to, being a vocalist, but I'm not new to recording. So we went in with Ryan Damonson, who I've known for, almost a decade. And he's helped teach me a lot of what I know about recording and producing and stuff. And so having him there to kind of tell me, be that person for me that, hey, yeah, that was great, or no, that sucked, having someone there to help me and not having to beat myself up and being able to just kind of deliver it vocally. That was what I meant by that. It's just very freeing for me mentally to not have to really beat myself up, but I got someone else there that's helping guide that journey,
I know, like in football, people talk about it. Kevin, what college team is it? A&M has the 12th man, where they call the crowd the 12th person of the team on the offense, defense, whatever. It's kind of the same thing between the producer and the band. Now, obviously, you blurred the lines way big on that and ended up joining the band, which is cool. But it really is like the relationship there from every member, drummer, bass, guitar, whatever you play. But I think especially vocals, because it is you're really kind of sharing yourself there when you're writing these lyrics and giving up a piece of yourself in its words. Somebody may not be able to, they can appreciate the guitar, but it's a little bit different than when you write something out that you really feel and then have to express that, right? The producer in the studio can really make or break that experience, right? So I guess you've seen it now from both sides.
Yeah, I've got a lot more, any singers I've recorded in the past, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know.
It would be like, if you've never done it before, like recorded or anything, it would be like the equivalent of going in a room full of people and just like getting naked and standing there.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really it would be the same thing.
Yeah. My first studio experience as a vocalist, like we had a control room full of people and I'm in there for the first time trying to sing, so I know what that feels like.
Yeah, we were with our buddies that play in Dead, and they just opened up a recording studio, Trash Island Studios in Chandler, Arizona. So we were doing some songs with them, and we were in this whole transition. And Kyle from Dead, he was engineering, and Frankie goes in the booth, and he just blew all of us away. We were writing to a song that, and Frankie's just in there, and he because all of us, a couple more people walked into the room and everyone was like, this is pretty good. Like, is this your guys' new guy? I'm like, yeah, like, this is, it's going well. And we were kind of just talking and I guess laughing at one point. And then Frankie overheard it in the booth and we thought we were laughing at him. So he's like, you know what? I'm going just all in on this. And then he comes out and there's just 8 people in the control room and he's like, oh
yeah, there was 2 or 3 people when I went in to come out, and there's 8 or 9 people in there. I'm like, whoa.
That's how much of a mind fuck it is, right? Because you're in a booth, it's isolated. You've got headphones. You're exposing yourself. You don't realize that's you're giving it your all, and then people just show up, and all you hear is the laughing, and then it's like, oh, now it's me against the ego.
It is, dude. Yeah,
they're laughing at me. I suck.
Yeah.
And then you just spiral down, or like you said, you say, well, fuck it, let's light the earth on fire. I'm just gonna go all in, and we'll see how this turns out. Come to find out, they were digging it anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, I walked out of the booth not really. I walked out of the booth expecting a yeah, you know, I mean, maybe with some vocal lessons or something, you maybe could, you know.
Right.
But
We
these
tried it,
guys-
man. Thanks. We
Yeah,
appreciate
you know,
it. Yeah.
these guys were about it, and you know, it felt really good to have that because I didn't see that in myself at that point in time, you know, and for these guys, I didn't want them to have to stop what they were doing. You know, I'd been working with these guys since 2020, yeah, early 2020, and you know, I was in a band. We were about to go on I'd been on a couple tours with them, a couple nationals with some bigger artists and stuff. And, you know, when coronavirus hit, it kind of killed that band. And we were about to go on tour with a huge like legacy band in the industry. And that ended up just killing that in its tracks. And so when I had started my studio up and I met these guys, they were kind of newer, you know, they had only been a band, I think, for what,
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months. And Matt, there'd been a couple of the members that had played their instruments like throughout their whole lives, you know, but no one ever like got in a solid band and tried to like do it the real deal, you know. And so when I met them, it was kind of like deer in the headlights a little bit, you know. And so it's like, well, I just got done doing all this stuff and I've been doing it for a long time now, it seems. So let me help you guys, you know. So we recorded. And then, like, was it a week before you were going to release Break Me?
It was, yeah, like 3 days.
It was like 3 days before they were going to release the song. And I was like, hey, so what are you guys doing for, like, what's your budget for, like, what are you guys doing to promote it? Like, I haven't seen anything. Like, it comes out in a couple of days, you know? And they were like, what do you mean? You know? I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, so Frankie pretty much was like, you guys need a lyric video and you guys got to get some money for ads. So I'm like, all right. So we scratch like $500 together for ads and we get a lyric video made. And I pretty much go on like just down the rabbit hole on YouTube of like music marketing videos and discovered this channel Burstamo and just how to run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, all of that kind of stuff. And just locked myself in my room for like 2 days learning all this stuff. And then Break Me came out. I started running all these ads and it started just like picking up like a wildfire. And it started like in Ukraine. And all of a sudden, like one day we're just getting all these streams and I'm getting all these comments on Instagram in like Russian and Ukrainian and all this stuff. And I'm on Google Translate like, wow, dude, they're digging it. They're really liking this over there. And it just started traveling west. And then it was Germany. And then it was like London. And then it was New York. And then wake up one morning and we hit Release Radar and got 3,400 streams in the first day, which was like, it was the craziest thing that ever happened to us as a band. And just feeling like, okay, that sigh of relief that, wow, like we have something here and like we can do this actually. So that really boosted our morale to just go all in on this. And, you know, it's crazy. Spotify, like you guys were talking beforehand about the power of the internet and Spotify, and everyone always gets all mad at Spotify because you don't get paid much. But for new bands and especially like unsigned artists, it is the most important platform of the century. And just the fact that with a $500 budget, our song could be heard around the world and get streams, and it's almost at 1 million streams, which is like still blows my mind that something that we made in a room has been listened to like almost 1 million times.
And the budget only puts it in front of the people. It's up to them to listen to it. That's another thing. It's not like you're forcing people to listen to your song. You know, we could spend I could throw $1,000 at it and it's not going to guarantee me any amount of streams. It's just going to say, hey, we're going to show this to this many people and maybe they'll click on it. Maybe they won't, you know? So it's the way that whole system works is kind of crazy to me. And especially now. So, cause it's, you know,
TikTok and all that stuff.
The whole social media game changed after coronavirus. And now in a modern day band, you really, if you're not on social media, it's like you guys said, if it's not clean and concise across all platforms and it's not easy for me to tell who you are, it's, you know, you're just
fighting yourself.
That's the first level of being stagnant. The second is not actually engaging with your fan base and developing a fan base on those apps and on things like TikTok. I do not have a lot of fun filming these TikToks. I don't have a great time doing it sometimes, but sometimes they're fun. For me, it's more or less like, hey, I want to do something creative with our music that, you know, these videos, there's other artists out there that are not just making millions of streams on their 30-second videos, but they're getting the people to to come from that platform off to like Apple and Spotify and YouTube and actually get that to translate into real streams, which ultimately helps fund the band to, you know, help them make records and all that stuff. You guys,
everybody is extremely busy, and to get someone to take time out of their busy schedule and listen to something that we're doing, it's like we don't take that lightly. And you want to build those connections. You want, you know, the whole reason we do this is to, you know, really put ourselves out there, and we hope people can relate to what we're doing. So it's been amazing. Just the response that we've gotten off this record already is just blowing our minds. And it's, you know,
let's talk about your record. So your debut album is 5 days old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Dead Inside. I listened front to back. And I listened to the whole thing. I even wrote down a little post-it note as I was listening of my favorite songs.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
I have to tell you, obviously Dead Inside for me was just absolutely raging banger. Oh my.
Thank you. That was the first song that was the first song that I ever fully did vocally ever as a vocalist. So that was a big one for me, as for sure.
Amazing. Also, as I was going through it, the other three that really I felt something: Obey, False Idol, and Gaslight.
The heavy,
especially very
stuff.
heavy.
Yeah.
And Gaslight, especially those lyrics for me, just clearly someone has had a close relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah.
And as I was listening to it, it was just, I mean, who hasn't, right? At some
I was going to say, haven't we all?
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, listening to it, and it's so heavy, but your lyrics really connected with me. As I was listening to it, I was like, wow, you know, this is such like a textbook definition. It's almost like the video definition of what it would be like. I loved your album. I thought you did a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Lyrically, musically. And I got to say, for a band as young as yours, you're not doing that bad. You've got nearly 39,000 followers on Spotify. Go you.
Thank you.
And way to go, like with the different,
do what we do.
Yeah, the social media platforms, the engaging with the fans. We've been talking for years. Doing all of those things is really paying off for you. I definitely applaud you in that effort because it's just as important as the music that you're putting out. So speaking of the third thing, then, when do we get to see you?
Oh.
We're hoping, you know, being a band our size still, because like obviously, you know, we just got it out there, and with Frankie, we originally were only going to drop Dead Inside as a single, and then we all were like, you know what? Like we took the budget that we were putting together for the single release and just pumped it all towards an album, and rented out a studio the whole month of January, and in the hopes of we get this record. Now, I've wanted to go on tour my whole life. That's been my dream, and the day and age of it's just so financially difficult for a band our size, still unsigned and trying to get, you know, we're looking at doing some like an LA show. We're looking at doing something in Vegas because we're based out of Arizona, and just aiming to kind of grow from there. You know, I keep saying, because everyone will always ask us like, come here. I'm like, as soon as we get that first opportunity, we are there. So if anyone's listening, or you want us, you know, if you play in a band or you put on shows and you want us to come to your city, like DM us. Like if we can do it, we will. Because that's been my dream my whole life, is get to travel the world and play music. And the bug bit me really young, just going to shows and watching bands do this and at all sorts of levels. And that's been my whole life since I was a little kid. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to be on the road. I want to be performing music and meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah. You're a fellow junkie, and we appreciate that.
Oh man. You know, if you aren't if you don't eat, sleep, and breathe it, you know, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's
Right.
That's the beauty of music. Like nobody mandates it, right? There's no law out there, or there's no certification or college. Oh, there's music colleges, but there's no mandate to produce bands. It's just people do it because they love it, because they would do it for no money, because you do it for no money for a very long time. Matter of fact, no money would be winning. It's actually negative monies a lot to start out with, which people don't realize. You know, and we've talked about it on the show before. Like not the multi-million-dollar payouts, while they would be great and are cool, is not even the only thing, or even sometimes the best things about music, right? Like you said, the people that you meet, the relationships that you build, and what it does for your life outside of the finances, whether that ever materializes or not. And I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
so fucking worth it.
For me, the first tour I ever went on, I was a kid. I think I was like 16 or 15. I don't remember. It was a small little week and a half, stint tour. But God, I learned so much from that. I came back so like just disillusioned by it all. You're like, man, this is tough work. It's expensive. I didn't make any money. I loved it. Let's go.
Yeah.
I
When
want
can
to
I
do
go
it again.
You want to learn hard work, dedication,
Right.
commitment, finances,
Mhm.
humiliation, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows all at once. Be in a band, go play a few shows, and you're ready to go.
Do it as yep. And then so I was out 2019. My band, my former band At My Mercy, we went out on a tour. We were out for 2.5 months. I think it was 2 months, 2.5 months. And the first major leg of the tour was with Famous Last Words, Dayshell, Awake at Last, and then us. And there's certain tiers for touring. I think the first real tier of touring is you get out there, you got your weekend warriors where you've got like maybe a 4-day run where you're doing maybe 2 shows in 2 different cities, or maybe you're booking like a week out and you've got 3 shows within a span of 5 days or something like that. Like that's really the first real like taste of touring. And then you get into like the 2-week mark, or longer. The longer you're out, the less you really remember what your everyday life was before, and you kind of just become that person on the road. And so like being out for that long, I learned that it takes a lot of resilience for you to be able to wake up every morning in a different city for that many days straight, and be able to get up and do it at that major capacity. And the more you do it with your bandmates, the tighter you will be. By the start of tour, man, that it might sound great, but it's not going to sound as good as you do by the end of tour, because you guys have shaked off all the rust, and you're playing at the best you've ever played. And for me, I learned that's one of the major lessons that I learned, and I can't wait to get out there with these guys and really help them, kind of teach them the things I learned along the way on their first tour.
I've been working in live music since 2019 at a venue out here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I used to do backstage stuff, and every single day, every show day, different bands coming in, different levels, vans or buses or bandwagons. And something that I would always do is just ask, usually not the artist, because I wasn't communicating with them, but like TMs or just merch people, and just like any tips that you got, or, just pretty much any information, because I'm all about it. I'm here. I'm a sponge. I soak up all the information I possibly can. And just cool hearing all the different stories, even like drivers, bus drivers, truck drivers, like people that have been on the road with the biggest of people, or, the smallest, and just the stories
so cool.
and that they've been able to, to give me, or, any help. And so I'm excited to put all my knowledge to test one day. And, my goal is to tour the world. So.
Yes,
Matt,
please.
did you want to check in? I know you've been patiently waiting.
I love that hat
Me?
and that shirt, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Dude, this is like Mark said at the start. Me and him have been talking. Like, I discovered Buried in Darkness on Twitter, and
That's awesome.
Mark personally messaged me from the band page to thank me for sharing out that music. That's how fresh out they were. And dude, it's been a joy to see you grow.
Thank you.
Like,
I mean, you as well. Like,
I was talking to you before I became part of the sound, and we've sort of been going back and forth and growing together and stuff. And Break Me, that was great. And I was like, these guys are good, and your social media presence seemed pretty well, and you pretty much got that nailed down now. And it's little things like that when you message someone, like, it makes them a bit more of a longer term fan. It's that personal experience that you've got to give those fans as an up and coming band.
100%. And like,
Yeah.
it's just also, I mean, it's the same thing of just wanting to communicate with someone and just personally, like I was saying earlier, everybody's busy. We all got the same 24 hours, and someone's going to take that time out of their day to listen to our, like, care
Yeah.
about something that we're doing. And to me, like, all of us in this band, we pour our heart and souls into every single thing and fund this thing completely ourselves. So it's such a reward when someone actually will comment or just, you know, listen to our music and we see a comment or we hear someone just reply to a message, because, you know, it's a grind. Social media, like, when we're trying to get someone or, like, you know, try and get our music out there and we just put ourselves out there, you know, the hate that you get versus like the good stuff that, like, the positive things that you get back is, you know, tenfold. So it's really refreshing to be able to tap in with that fan base, and like we call it family, because we truly look at you guys as like we couldn't be doing this without you. And you guys are, you know, especially, you know, the sound, you guys are a champion for up and coming bands, and most people, most publications, most radio, like, they don't care. So the fact that you guys have your ear to the street and you're caring and you're fostering a whole scene you guys are doing very important work. So for us and just bands all together and fans, the people that are in these comments right now that are tuned into your platform, you guys are raising and like witnessing the next generation of a scene coming up.
Well, I can tell you that everybody on this live stream on our end right now, it's exactly what you just said. I mean, this is a labor of love. I mean, thank God that the internet has this capability nowadays for us to be able to talk to guys, you know, like you guys, and keep our ear to the street of what's coming up new, because we just fucking love it. Like, I don't care about like money, finances, or whatever. I just want to go to a bar and see a cool band play, and I want to catch them early. Like, I don't want to. I mean, I'll go see you in an arena. Don't get me wrong. I want to go see Pantera right now, but like, I would much rather catch you in a 200 person, 500 person club than that, you know, and then be able to talk to you after the show.
100%. Yep. That's the coolest part, like the intimacy of a club show. Cause everyone says like, oh, I wish I discovered them younger, but like, or like when like they were brand new, but that same person they're not going to the local clubs, or they're not, you know, keeping their, but you know,
I got one for you. You can go on YouTube right now and you can look up Rage Against the Machines. I don't know what you got, like first live performance or something. And I think they're playing at like UC Berkeley, somewhere in California.
Yeah.
And it's the first record. There's not much different. It sounds exactly like it does on the record live, but nobody knows who they are. And people are on a college campus and they're just walking by, you know, and no fault of their own. I mean, they probably like late for class. I'm not judging them, but like, you're watching this, you're like, do you understand how fucking good this music is that you're walking right past, you know? It's amazing. And so that's happening in clubs all over the country all the time. Some bands, you know, aren't that great and don't make it, and some bands are. So I want to be there when the ones that are, and I know bands that are that good that don't make it, you know, so I want to see everything in between.
Yeah, the greatest guitarist is somewhere in his basement. Like, the greatest band is like no one's heard of them. That's and right. It's kind of funny when you tell someone you're in a band and they haven't heard of you, most of the time they think you suck. And then they'll like listen to you, like they're shocked, like, you guys are actually good.
It's funny.
Like,
I'll tell people, you know, like my coworkers would be like, well, yeah, they'll be like, oh, you're in a band? I'm like, yeah, I'm in a band. And they're like, oh, really? I didn't know you could do this stuff, you know? I'm like, yeah, I didn't either. Listen to it. Let me know what you think, you know? And usually you never know, like, you never know what anybody's going to show you when you say that to them. You know, they're going to think it's bad or whatever. But I want your honest opinion. If, you know, if you're coming to me like, oh, you're in a band? Yeah, I want to know what you think. Please tell me, you know? Because if it's
no, go ahead.
Because if it's your thing, like, you know, awesome. I want you to be a part of it with me, and I want you to celebrate the journey with me, you know. But and if not, if you're not into it and you listen to it and you're like, wow, man, I thought that was gonna suck, but it didn't. That was good. Then cool.
It's like, obviously we're not everybody's cup of tea. You gotta, you know, but you know, it really funny story, real fast. Sorry. We were at ASU doing some street team stuff for our show coming up on September 2nd on this Saturday. And we were just, you know, going around putting posters around, and we decided to go to a bar and have a little midday pick me up drink. And there's this like 11-year-old kid there just drinking Dr. Pepper, just like talking shit to everyone at the bar. And we asked the bartender, like, who is this kid? Like, is he even allowed to be in here? She's like, yeah, he's just a local kid. He's sweet, but yeah, he's got a little bit of mouth to him. So we're all chilling. We're like, hey, check out our band. Let us know what you think, if we suck or not. Because, like, you know,
He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll
tell
fucking
us. Yeah,
tell you.
exactly why I said it. I was like, hey man, hey, just check us out. Let me know what you think, dude, because I really want to know what you guys think. You know, like
the kids, man.
yeah,
That's what it's all
and
about.
He listened to it right there at the bar, and all the people around him that were drunk were like, you know, watching it with him and stuff. But he liked it, and he told us, he was like, this is really good. Like, wow, I thought you guys, you know, he's like, this is really good. He commented on it, and then we were like, yeah, you know, we had some stickers we were passing out and stuff, and we gave him like, you know, 20 stickers, and we were like, yeah, man, spread them out, you know, spread the word. And we roll out of the bar like 20 minutes later, and they're slapped all over, you know, freaking light poles and you know, and then we bumped into him. He's like, oh yeah, I've been putting them everywhere, on cars, everywhere.
We're like, what?
No, no, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. So, you know,
He's gonna be
Love it.
like the next generation's like Fred Durst or something.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like,
oh,
I know Kevin's got
guerrilla
got
marketing.
the- yeah, for real. I know Kevin's got the music, your video queued up. Is that right, Kevin?
I do. Dead
Oh,
Inside.
man.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think we should check that out. Let the people hear it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Pushing down on my chest. I feel the weight, it won't let up. Day after day, it's all the same.
Hell yeah, them vocals ain't bad.
Thanks.
right.
Right. For a non-vocalist, I think you pretty
Right.
much nailed it.
Well, definitely adding that to the power hour this week.
There you
Oh,
go.
Yeah,
So
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fucking killer right there. That hit me in the feels.
Thank you.
It's hype.
Yeah. Fun fact, we shot that music video in 118 degrees, literally the entire
No AC.
the entire
Oh,
time, man.
You were in Mississippi?
Yeah, Phoenix, man.
Worse,
Oh.
worse.
Oh,
summer
even
ever.
fucking
You got more humidity out there. It's a dry heat here, man.
Yeah. When you sweat in Phoenix,
Wow.
apparently it makes you get cooler. Is that right? Because in Mississippi, when you sweat, you just get fucking wet while you
Yeah,
sweat. That's why you're
for
hot.
about a couple seconds, you want to
Okay.
run around to get a draft, to get the sweat a little,
Nope. Here, when you sweat, it just brings the heat in closer to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's more
terrible.
suffocating.
Yes.
permeates.
Lisa knows you were
Yeah.
down here in July.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a place I would want to vacation.
No,
Let's put it that
not
way.
during the not when it's that bad during the summer. Yeah.
No, but I think you guys really nailed it. I mean, and Jared, I would encourage you to listen to the whole album.
Yeah,
There's a lot of tracks on there that I think you would really
Yeah,
enjoy.
definitely.
Me,
It's fire.
Jared, and Matt are definitely into the heavier side of things. So,
I listened to Never Change, I think is what I was listening to.
Right on.
Yeah, this one is a lot more brutal, which is way more up my alley.
yeah,
Yeah,
that riff is amazing.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really wanted to try, like, for us, any band with their first album, it's kind of an important time for a band. Everyone's trying to find their sound and stuff. And, we don't want to be one of those bands that's just like one thing, we don't want to be like super, heavy or super like radio or super pop or, we just kind of want to, the things we like about the music we love, we want to take that and just incorporate it into something that, we would want to listen to. And hopefully you guys do too, if we're, and so it's a pretty diverse record. I would say we've got a decent portion of it is some singing songs where there's more singing, and then there's a real heavy portion of the record where it's just, angry.
It's also when we
Yeah.
were writing, like the record is about most like mental health struggles and toxic relationships and just inner turmoil kind of things. So
Struggles.
the record kind of, but it has like resolve in it. It's not all just like hate and negative and like upset, like angry vibes. So there's a lot of emotions that went into it. All of us, we locked ourselves in a room for a whole month together writing this record, and we all had things that we were struggling with personally, which is, you turn all that dark shit into something beautiful. And that's how you create art in all aspects. You just take the struggle, the struggling musician vibe of, pain and suffering, and you turn
Tortured
it into
artist.
tortured
Yeah.
art. That's what I'm going for.
You take the turd and you turn it into a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, life's really sucking right now. Let's write a song,
Yeah.
Dude, well, everybody, like the first record for any band is, it's usually like slinging paint on a wall and kind of seeing what happens. And then
Right.
either your second record is absolutely dog shit, or it's like it evolves some kind of way. I was like, oh, I see what you did over here. And then you went over here, and that's really cool. And then the progression is there. So
Yep.
I love to catch a band, obviously, by nature of the show that we have here at the beginning, right? Like that to me is like, it's just whatever they threw at the wall, whatever they were feeling. There's no money involved usually. It's just, here's what we do,
Right.
and that's what makes it so fucking cool.
And it's something that we all believe in so much because like all of us, we pay into it equally. Like we all own this kind of like this company. What it is like, it's all equal. So it's everybody's a team player. Everybody, it wouldn't be possible without every single member of this band. And even our producer, Ryan Damonson, because he took all of our crazy ideas and really made it into something that's like,
Yeah.
he listened to us and didn't shut us down on stuff and just heard us out, and couldn't be more proud of the product that we came up with.
And he's always been there for me on my musical journey since I was, 14 or 15. That's when I met Brian. And, so I worked a lot of years with that guy, having him kind of mold me and showing me the ropes and, hey, like, oh, dude, you're doing a great job, or, you need to do this, you need to do that. The stuff that I've done for these guys, he did for me. And to be able to for me to kind of circle back to a new beginning on this musical journey, I wanted to start that back up with him, you know, because I knew he could help me bring the best of myself out, because he'd always done that before with, you know, being in a band but as a guitarist. And so
Kevin, what were you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, we got a lot.
Kevin, what were you gonna say?
Do what?
You look like you wanted to say something.
I do, but not about this.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, you just face palmed. I'm like, I hope that's about his
Speak your
computer.
minds, whatever it is.
No, it's all good. No. I was so you listen and you multitask at the same time. So
Yeah,
I feel you.
you got multi things going on, and then something happened. I was like,
And you're like, oh no, yeah.
Oh damn.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, we're just grateful for, you know, Ryan's gotten to work with some extremely big bands like Asking Alexandria, Memphis Mayfire, The Word Alive. So for him to, you know, take us under his wing and kind of teach us the ropes, and same with, you know, Frankie and Ryan. I kind of consider Ryan as my grandpa, because Frankie wouldn't be here without Ryan, and I wouldn't be here without Frankie. So he's like my metal grandpa.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Well, where are we siphoning people to, man? What's you know, Facebook, is that your channel that you're most active on? I think that's kind of the consensus with most bands that we talk to.
Honestly, we're most active on Instagram. So we have like our Instagram and Facebook like connected. So obviously we're active on every single one, but definitely
Instagram gets more love, I believe.
Yeah.
Instagram, and then we funnel a lot more of like our video content stuff into TikTok, but everything gets the same stuff. But we get a lot more of our stuff gets posted to Instagram first, and then funneled over to Facebook.
Algorithmically, TikTok is the best way to find new fans and just be connected with new people. And then like kind of the tier list is then Instagram, and then Facebook and Twitter are not super algorithmically friendly to us.
They're not, and kind of keeping with the tempo and the philosophy of tonight. I kind of want to touch on what you guys both just said. There was like 2 to 3 episodes in a row, and I don't remember what the numbers were, where I asked that same question. You know, where are you most active on socials? And like 3 episodes in a row, the bands listed their website, and I thought that was super kick ass. And I'll tell you why. It's because, like you mentioned, the algorithms, right? Obviously, TikTok right now is where, if you want to cast a large net, that's where you should be, and you have to figure out how to do it and how to do it creatively. And it's not always just your songs. It's like creative content, sharing inside the band stuff or whatever, right?
Yep.
But whether it's Instagram, that's where you guys are at, or Facebook or whatever, however you pull these people in, and I'm talking to like anybody that's watching this right now, if you get them in through TikTok, Facebook, whatever, at some point you need to siphon them over to your website.
Absolutely.
Right? And you need to siphon them over to your email list. That way you can always, and you know, look up at the top of the screen right now. Like, we have the text community platform. We have all these ways of trying to talk to people direct, to where if Facebook shut down tomorrow or TikTok got banned by the government tomorrow, it would suck for all of us, but at least you would still have this direct connection to the people that already like you.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great point to bring up is, you know, one thing I know of a lot of bands don't think of is an emailing list. And it's not really until you get on the tour slot of this.
Well, it's not sexy, right? It's not really sexy.
Right. I don't want to ask you for your email, but hey, you know what? Like, at the end of the day, I think that's probably the like you guys said, the most direct way with what you guys do. It's the same thing. Like, if I can get your email and then I can sit here and let you know, hey, guess what? We're going to release a song before we tell anybody else. Or hey, guess what? Here's a piece of content just for you for being awesome.
And here's the thing too. Here's something that can kind of pay off if you're fucking lazy. And let me explain. Right? If you get there, and we're great at this, like with the tech, with the text platform, which is right above. You can text us the sound 228-641-1648. We don't spam on it because we know not to, but also because we're fucking got other shit going on and we forget to do it a lot. If you get somebody's email and you're not sending them an email every single friggin' day, or twice a week, or 3 times a week, with some bullshit offer or some bullshit, hey, look at this post, or look at what we did, people get tired of that. But when you email them, it's legit. Hey, here's our new song, or here's our new shirt, and by the way, you get 15% off because you're through our email list, and we appreciate you being part of this community. They'll open the shit and they'll like it, a text message, whatever, and it's more real.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about not being spam, because like the worst thing that you can ever see is like you get a message and it's just copy paste and you're like,
Right.
this is so, this is just spam. Like sometimes it'll just go straight into the message request. I know all of us could probably, if we go check our message requests, it's just all these bots, come promote on this or whatever. But exactly, just something that a direct line of communication that you can reward your fans or people that support you. It's all because we wouldn't be here without them. So we want to make sure to give back to the people that care the most about us.
I just know nowadays a lot more things are put on the artist's plate, right? To have to manage, especially in the early stages. And this is one of the ones where being a procrastinator or a little bit lackadaisical as far as what you pump out can be to your benefit. So take that for what it's worth, all
For
you people out there on the interwebs.
Some free game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if we were going to go ahead and post up your socials, you'd want us to post up your Instagram?
Yeah. So just
Instagram, our website.
Yeah. Bury the Darkness on Instagram, Bury the Darkness on TikTok. We're websites, burythedarkness.com. Pretty much across all platforms, we're Bury the Darkness, except for Twitter, we're Bury Darkness, because Bury the Darkness was taken and the guy would not answer my DM trying to buy it from him. So
yeah, we had money, dude. We were going to spend money, but you didn't want it.
and even that, like you were talking about earlier, just that, it bites us in the ass sometimes, because I'll see on like Reddit or something like that, on like our metalcore forums, it'll be like Bury Darkness, new single, and I'm like, just that one little thing. Now the rumor's spreading.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. That goes back to like what Lisa said earlier, keeping the imaging consistent across all platforms. I mean, it does suck, but even the biggest of bands do that, and you could even probably go back and change your URL to like Bury the Darkness band or official, to where at least it's all the same at the front, and then the back end is just what's slightly different.
Yep,
definitely. It's funny because what, Lisa, you work in social media. I work in social media as well, and I work for, I do music industry stuff, and when I'm trying to hunt down bands and it's just all different across all platforms, it makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes. You're like, all right, just go into their website, just open tabs on all of these things.
Dude, before we started this podcast, I had hair just like you. So that's what
oh no.
What
happened?
Just pulled it all out, bro. So just be aware.
It's a stressful industry we're in.
But it really is.
It is.
If you're not consistent across all platforms, and I'm trying to play your music or tag your band for something, and I can't find you literally within 10 seconds, guess what's happening? You're not being tagged.
Yeah.
Not hunting you down like, where's Waldo? Not my problem.
Said,
that's a you problem.
Put the roster up there and put your hometowns on it. So that helps out a shit ton.
Or a link tree. God forbid.
A link tree. What is that?
It's a landing page for all of your, you can link your website.
He was being facetious.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Well,
we have one.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. They don't get it.
They don't.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tonight, and love the tune that we played tonight. Love the video. Thank you for taking the time to put the fucking work in and make the visual side of things look good. I know all of us appreciate that. You guys know, I mean, it's part of the digital world we live in. So good luck to you, and keep us in the loop about the live stuff, the concerts, the live shows.
Yeah, so we've got we've got a couple shows actually in the books right now. So we've got our album release on September 2nd. And then we've got another show we're going to be opening up for an awesome band named Decayer on, I believe it's September
13th.
I've been playing those guys on my show.
Decayer,
through the
awesome
app.
dudes,
Decayer, Salt Wound.
I think that tonight our In the Pit show, Brent Kreiner is playing Decayer.
That's awesome. Yeah,
they are heavy.
Stoked to throw down with them. And we have some amazing opportunities coming up. We're actually doing. We're playing at the amphitheater out here on the VIP stage for Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper on September 24th.
Nice.
And then Avenged Sevenfold, Falling in Reverse, and Kim Dracula on October 8th. So we're
Sweet.
stoked.
Well,
Nice.
look, when y'all are out there, we've asked bands before, when y'all are out there, man, if it comes up in conversation, throw our name out there and let bands know, like, we're open invitation. We want to talk to all these people, and we just want to promote everything in that game. So help us spread the word too.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, we're a community, man. And like, we're not here. We're like, obviously it's a competitive business, but we want all of our friends to win. If you're putting your heart and soul into making a good product, like, you deserve the recognition and you deserve everything that comes to you. So we're an open book. Like, we answer every single DM. Like, we hope no one's ever afraid.
They
Like,
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Metal bands always portray this image of being all angry and scary, but like, to be honest, we're all fucking teddy bears.
Yeah, I'm
so,
a sweetheart.
like-
If you reach out to me and you want to talk, let's talk. You
Like,
know what I mean?
But we're just grateful to be able to do this and make music and be able to talk to great people like you, and it really makes everything worth it in the end, because it's not easy being in a band. As you can ask anyone, it's a grind. So just being able to talk about it, have people be interested in what we're doing, it means the world. So thank you.
Yeah,
No, I was gonna say, ladies and gents, in the comments, if y'all aren't already following these guys, man, go check them out. Hit that smash the like button and give them a follow.
Let us know what your favorite song is. Let us know what city you're in, and we keep all that. And I got a list of, like, when people tell us come to this city, I'll go and like look up the venues and stuff and see if it's possible one day. That's what we're trying to do.
we will go to Brazil someday. We promise. We will come to Brazil.
I've already
right?
told you where I want you, Mark. UK, baby.
Oh man, I would love that. Go out, maybe. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's definitely. I've never been to Europe. I've never had the opportunity to leave the States. So I honestly would rather tour Europe than the US, but
Yeah.
I'll take whatever I can get.
I've got a couple
Beggars
friends and
can't be
some bands
choosers.
out there. Maybe we can work something out. It'd be awesome to get out there.
Let me know.
Killer.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you
Um,
for having us.
We appreciate you. And like Jared said, keep us posted. Good luck, man. Good luck on your shows this weekend.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Have a great
You're
night.
very welcome.
Later.
You
Thank
too.
Good day, guys.
Y'all
Thank
have a
you.
good one. All
Sweet.
right.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Great guys.
All right. So with 83% of the votes, we have a new champion in
Oh,
Virtue.
shit.
A virtue.
Oh.
All right.
So they will move on to our next episode, which is, I believe, next week?
Or September 6th.
Yeah.
That is
so
next week.
with
Yeah.
Devil's Envy.
Yeah.
Yes.
September 6th. What am I doing that day? I think I'm free.
We hope, because we really want you on the show.
You don't understand?
Check your concert calendar.
I in my mind, I just did. I start being not free from the 8th to like the 15th. I have like 5 shows that week.
Fucking.
You should
so
share
glad.
your
Whatever.
concert calendar with them
Whatever,
just so they
we're
can
out.
see how busy you
Y'all,
are.
y'all have a wonderful night. I'm
They
done with
already
her.
hate me
Right?
enough. I don't need
I'm
any
done.
more hate mail.
Done with you. Time to go.
Kudos to Kevin though. Your room looks good.
Yeah,
the
it's looking
background
good,
looks
man.
good. You look like
It's
you
getting
broke
there.
free from the Taliban.
I literally hung all
Taliban.
this shit about 7 hours ago.
Well, other than there not being a picture of me anywhere in the room, I think it
Right.
looks
It's all right. I just looked over. I have to be in a hotel for work. I walked in, literally set up my laptop and got on this podcast. And as I'm looking over, I was wondering why the TV was on when I came in. It's like turned to football. I look over and the remote's on the bed. The sheets are pulled back and the pillow. I'm like, someone was in here. So we're going to be going downstairs.
That's a little creepy, Lisa.
It's really creepy because I've been sitting in here now since 8:30.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Ew.
wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Call
Yeah.
security. Do a little sweep of the room there.
It's a little
Yeah, no
weird.
shit.
Oh shit. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching tonight. It was a good show. I had a good time. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, it's great.
Had a good one.
Always
You
have
guys
a good
have, we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.